What's up? Today we're going to be making a simple steak, sirloin strip, some super easy vegetables, but we're going to up the difficulty a little bit and do it in a 1500-degree infrared grill. So first, what we're going to do is season our steak and we're going to let it sit while we prepare everything else. It makes a huge difference if you let your meat sit for a little while, come up to room temperature. I know that's what you read all the time and see all these other people say. I'm a super impatient person, and once I started doing that, my steak started coming out a lot better. So here we go. I'm gonna take my steak, and what I'm gonna do is season it pretty simply. First, going to put a little bit of salt. Whatever comes out, there we go. A little bit of salt. Get the cat off the counter. A little bit of grinded up pepper. These are big pieces of peppercorn. Get my smaller grinder out. Where were we? So I got a little salt and I got a little pepper. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder. Covering one side. As long as it's not garlic salt, you can go heavier if you'd like. And then just for fun today, I usually stop right here with my seasoning, but I got this Tony's Special Reserve all-purpose salt, kind of flavored salt stuff. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on there just to see how it comes out. Flip it over. And do the same thing on the other side. A little bit of salt. A little bit of ground pepper. Garlic powder. And some Tony's. All right, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put this away from the feline now and just let it rest in room temperature heat till it comes up to temperature. So the rule of thumb that I've always been told is you can either let your steak come up to temperature first and then season it right before you put it on the grill, or if you're going to season it beforehand, let it sit at least 45 minutes to an hour. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to season it and let it sit, and I'm going to get the vegetables all ready. So I got a couple of my favorite vegetables that I like to eat. Some finishing butter, and I'm just gonna keep out one of these seasonings, the Tony's, to put a little bit on that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my knife a little sharper. And we're gonna cut up the veggies. I like bigger pieces of vegetables. I like them to be crunchy after I cook them. That's just me. I know a lot of people don't care for the crunchy cooked vegetable thing, but to each their own. Do what you would like. I really don't care how you do it. So, gotta take out these seeds and placenta of the pepper. Leave a little bit of the white stuff. That's gonna be where all the flavor is. Make some larger slices, kind of like this. It doesn't matter what color bell pepper you use. That's completely up to you. This was the first one I saw that looked decent, so I just chose this yellow one. I'm gonna put in the bottom of our bighorn pan. This is going to be the grill, infrared grill that we're going to be using today. In case anyone has ever wanted to buy one of these things and they've been intimidated, I'm going to show you how to use it, how I use it, and kind of go over what kind of made it a little harder for me in the beginning, what makes it easier now. But it can be intimidating cooking at 1500 degrees, because to me it's on or off. It's either 1500 or nothing. I don't really mess with the temperature settings too much, even though you can. That's just me. But also going to be putting a little bit of carrots in there. Not a huge carrot guy, but I saw these carrots and I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a blast. And what this does is sit in the bottom of the grill itself. It's like a drip pan. And that's where I'm just gonna cook my vegetables. Let all the meaty goodness drip onto it after these get cooked a little bit. And also a little bit of squash. Yes, I bought a lot of phallic-shaped vegetables today. Mind your business. I'm gonna slice this up a little bit. Kind of like the carrot. May not use this entire squash though. That's probably gonna be it. All right. Then, so I also got a stick of butter. It's a compound butter from Kerrygold compound butter. It's an Irish butter, it says. I'm not quite sure why. I guess the cows like Guinness, that's whatever. And I'm gonna take about half of this finishing butter and cut it up into squares on top of these veggies. And as they cook down, this will melt onto them. And I'm gonna use the other half for finishing the steak here in a little bit. And it's just got some herbs, some flavors, a little bit of butter. Got all the goodness in there. So as this cooks on the bottom tray, it's gonna come out really nice. I'm gonna save the rest of this. And for shits and gigs, gonna put a little bit more of this Tony's on top. Gonna go hard in the paint because. So we have our Bighorn outdoor grill, the 9-inch version. We have it preheating right now. Got the heat on all the way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide these vegetables in this drip tray all the way at the bottom. Now, I talked about earlier, it cooks at 1500 degrees. So it's gonna be 1500 close to the top of where the ceramic plates are. But since it has an open face, the bottom's gonna get to about 300, 400 degrees. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about this overcooking while we get this going before our steaks get on there. Now we're gonna let this go a little while before we put the steaks on, because the steaks, it's advertised, can cook in like 90 seconds or something like that. We're gonna see just how long it takes to actually cook the steak, and we're gonna give it a good honest review. So we've had it in here about, let's say 2 or 3 minutes. Let me show you what we're working with already. Butter's starting to melt, starting to get a really aromatic, nice cooked veggie smell. We're gonna let this go a little bit longer and let the grill get super hot. Should glow red on top whenever we're ready. So one of the things I was apprehensive about before I got this was I am an accident prone person, and do I really want to cook at 1500 degrees? And the answer is maybe. There is a definite learning curve with learning to cook with this. This is gonna be about 1.25 inch, 1.5 steak to use for reference. Other than that, you'll probably have to burn a few steaks to get used to how it cooks. But it's super quick to learn, super easy to use, and it's definitely gonna make a huge difference, and I'm gonna show you why. So we're pretty much preheated. We've had it on for about 10 to 15 minutes. Our steak has been sitting and resting up to room temperature. So what we're gonna do is, it's extremely hot, so be careful. We're gonna take our steak, go ahead and lay it on there, and get it cooking. See, accident prone. Cooking very fast. What I try to do is about 90 seconds per side at first, and then I'll give it a flip. After about 90 seconds each side, we're gonna move it down to the third from the top and just let it start cooking a little slower and see how that works out. And towards the end, a little bit of finishing butter, that herb butter, that Irish stuff that I have on there with the Guinness drinking cows. We're gonna let that melt on top. It's gonna reinforce the crust we got going on. Gonna let that sit for about 10 minutes and see what it looks like inside. It looks like it is a perfect medium rare. So, steak came out very juicy. Let it sit for about 10 minutes. As far as the flavor, on the outside it does look a little burnt. That's all that dry seasoning that I use, because I don't use anything else other than the dry seasoning. Has a very good taste on the outside. The inside, very good. It's a little chewy for my taste. It's a little more rare than I thought. Not like too dangerous rare, but just not, you know, my favorite. Veggies, your thicker carrots and stuff like that didn't get very soft at all, but again, that's the way I like it. I like them crunchy. Bell peppers cooked down really well. Squash cooked down really well. As far as the ease of use of this thing, it's super simple. It does make kind of a mess. This is the aftermath of what I'm gonna have to clean, but thankfully it is a dishwasher safe piece of equipment. So everything comes out, you just throw it all in the dishwasher and it'll be clean, with the exception of wiping down the inside. I love it. I love my Bighorn so far. I've done burgers and I've done steak. I've tried tuna. The tuna cooks a little too fast for it, but I'm willing to try a couple more times, maybe some different thicknesses and a couple variations to see if I can get a tuna steak really good, because sometimes I just love a good tuna steak. But yes, steak was excellent. Super quick. Like I said, did 90 seconds on the top rack each side, put it down on the third rack from the bottom, and did about 90 more seconds on each side with my finishing butter, the Irish butter, and it came out just like this. If I had a sous vide, I would be very confident I can make a restaurant style steak with just the searing in here, but even this has definitely brought up my steak game tenfold. So thank you very much, Bighorn, and thank you guys for watching.